Hey guys, what's up? This is Jordan Crook with TechCrunch, and I'm here with Chet, who is the CEO and founder of Aereo.
Almost feel like a regular guest now.
You are. Can we just set that up on the schedule? We'll just once a month maybe come in. It seems like that's what we're going to need to do. You guys just recently won the court appeal in the Second Circuit, right? Can you tell us a little bit about what that means?
So yeah, I think you've been following the case pretty closely, and the appellate court reaffirmed the trial court's conclusion, which was that we were legal and prevailed on merits, and so it is helpful for the entire ecosystem that there's more validation.
So this actual decision is based on the original filing for a preliminary injunction, correct?
Yes.
So this is a big step in that first initial filing, but that doesn't mean necessarily that the battle was won, but the war is not over type of thing, right?
Yes.
So
it was clearly
the same group can come back with a full lawsuit.
Well, the trial has been ongoing since from the very beginning. So that process has been continuing, and we expect it to take its course.
Right.
It's here in the Southern District of New York.
Okay, so I want to get back to this whole ecosystem validation thing real quick. Okay. Yeah. So what we've heard so far is that Dish Network, DirecTV, and AT&T might be interested. Do you want to tell us anything about those specific companies? So,
I'll be very forthright. There's a lot of interest in Aereo for a variety of reasons, as you can imagine. We think, I particularly have a very specific focus, which is I'll be more than happy to work with anybody as long as there's a real direct consumer benefit that emerges out of that. So we're not going to work with somebody just for the sake of working with somebody, or we're not going to work with somebody just because we can help them in retransmission consent or any of those kinds of things. Purely, is there a consumer benefit, a direct consumer benefit that you can attribute? Better quality, cheaper pricing. So there's a lot of interest, and we were talking to a lot of companies to sort of see where the right combination of consumer features is.
Right. Of those lot of companies, right, that have been interested in Aereo, have you talked to any after this decision came through? Because to you said, yeah, this is obviously, a little bit extra validation. Clearly we're on the right track, and we have legal technology, and we have our bases covered. But to maybe these other companies who are interested, have you heard have they reaffirmed those?
There's constant dialogue with a lot of potential partners. So there's a lot of conversation that, nothing that I think is earth-shattering or anything, just we hope and we think thoughtful companies. So, and they all understand and I think share the value, which is let's do something that is meaningful to the consumer and a real benefit, right?
Okay, so let's talk future plans. Obviously, we're not going to talk about partnerships and stuff, but you've got the rollout coming. Is there anything else that we should be looking forward to?
So that's the obsessive focus right now. So the target is, make sure that our deployments go well. The marketing team did our first campaign, which we're learning from.
I'm seeing the banner ads and stuff.
Exactly. And all the billboards, I think. So I was glad that we, got at least the basics out, that we were able to execute on a basic campaign. So we'll learn from that, apply those towards the new markets as we get rolling throughout spring, summer. So it's an incredibly busy time because, we're still a very small company, right? So, and we're effectively building out infrastructure that touches 90-odd million people. So that's a tremendous strain.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is so, what Aereo is doing is so, I hate to use the word disruptive, right? Because it's totally overused. But in reality, what Aereo is doing is truly disrupting, which is why you've kind of been a target for a lot of these broadcasters. How is this lawsuit going to affect Aereo in the long run? I know you've thought about it. It has to be financially draining to some extent.
In addition to just being financially draining, it's a tremendous resource drain from an intellectual focus perspective as well, right? So, how you deal with it is you have incredibly competent people who are capable of all this stuff. And so, for example, our legal team, our general counsel, exceptionally talented woman who's I've known for 25 years at this point. So, she handles a lot of that stuff, and fortunately, I'm not capable of, so that's good. And our CTO, who's handling all of the expansion deployment stuff. I actually have the least interesting, not least interesting, the easiest job in the company, which is, sort of look pretty and show up every now and then.
Yeah.
But it's
you do such a good job at that.
Thank you. Somebody said to me, go read this book by Tim Wu, Master Switch, which I did. And it's interesting that the entire telecommunications, media industry foundationally is so large, and it's always mired in some form of controversy of some sort.
Yeah.
And just going back and reading some of those historical cases that even AT&T was part of, that it was just, educational.
That's how things change.
That's how
in
things
this
change.
industry, right?
It's just how it works. MCI and AT&T fought for decades, and it's just how it is.
So if anything, it's kind of a good sign, right?
I think
it's not good news necessarily from a business standpoint, but it is a good sign that the same pattern is repeating.
There's
in
a
terms of
tremendous
change.
opportunity. There's a tremendous market. So there's a lot of protectionism that goes into trying to protect an artificial system that's been created.
Right.
Because it just makes a lot of money for a lot of different kinds of people. So yeah, of course, that's par for the course, I suppose.
Cool. All right, Chet, I'm gonna let you get to your stuff.
All right, thanks. Great to see you again.
Yeah, you too. All right, that's it for our little Aereo update.